Democratic leaders in Congress continued on Sunday to remain quiet on the sexual assault allegations leveled against their party's presumptive presidential nominee Joe Biden, even as anger over the accusations mounted from the party's more progressive wing. Neither House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, D-California, nor Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Time's up, and I applied. You go through the process of applying, and they have funds for people who need them for legal help or for PR. As you know, what happened to me last April, I was smeared on social media. They have lawyers that help prevent that so that you're able to safely come forward. They were very gracious at first and did their vetting part, whatever that is, and then accepted my case, sent out a narrative about what happened to me to lawyers to do what they called a conflict search. So they had no conflict of interest, and they gave me a list of lawyers. So then I pursued that, and then each lawyer rejected it, saying there was a conflict of interest, but they only did it after they heard what the story was. So that was a little disheartening. And then when I went back to Time's Up, I was talking to the program director. She was, again, very gracious, but she said they could not provide me funds for the resources to fund this because they put their 501c at risk. And they put that in writing as well. And then I had 2 conversations with the director and the program director. And they said it was too political, and it was Joe Biden, and it was a presidential race. And their organization didn't want to be seen as biased, which I understood, but then I said to them, well, where does that leave me? I can't help to do this. Where do I get help? And there was no real answer to that at all. So
D-N.Y have made any public comment about the allegations by Tara Reade, a staffer for Biden in 1993, that the then senator from Delaware sexually assaulted her. Pelosi and Schumer's offices did not return Fox News' request for comment. There is growing anger from both progressive Democrats and supporters of the #MeToo movement about the lack of response from Democratic leaders toward the allegations. The hashtag dropout Biden was trending on Twitter on Sunday, until it was allegedly removed, and many supporters for former Democratic presidential primary hopeful Bernie Sanders are calling on Biden to suspend his campaign for the White House. Nick Brana, Sanders' former national outreach coordinator, tweeted over the weekend that the Democratic National Committee should either force Biden to drop out or admit that suppressing progressives is the true purpose of your party. Reade's story first resurfaced in an article in The Intercept, where she claimed that in 1993, she was asked by a more senior member of Biden's staff to bring the then senator his gym bag near the Capitol building, which led to the encounter in question. He greeted me, he remembered my name, and then we were alone. It was the strangest thing, Reade told Halper. There was no like.
In the fall, when President Clinton, the inaugural and all of that, so I came on in December of that year, and then continued on through 93, and as was in the press before, there was a sexual harassment claim that I made, and the part that I excluded was an encounter that I had with Joe Biden. It was very painful, and it's had a long-lasting effect on my life. Yeah, I appreciate that. There were many obstacles. I think the biggest one was fear of retaliation. I received in 1993, when I attempted to bring forward the claims, I received a great deal of retaliation in the workplace. And I lost my job in fear as a result of coming forward. And I was too frightened then to talk about it, and didn't really have the framework then to, how to come forward and all of that. And then last April, when I saw Lucy Flores being just torn apart by the press, it was, I don't want to blame the press, but it was just, she was being kind of vilified, and it was painful to see because her claim was valid from my perspective, because I had experienced it. And a friend of mine who knew me at that time called me and said, hey, Tara, they're saying no former employees of Joe Biden have come forward. And I said, I know. And I decided to come forward about that portion. And then as soon as I did, a couple of reporters from national outlets called me, but by then I was already getting smeared on social media, and I'd gotten some threats by phone, and I just kind of went silent and decided I wanted to approach it from approaching like an advocacy organization for help. The portion that I didn't talk about was the encounter with Joe Biden, and it was after he had said some things about wanting me to serve drinks to donors, that he thought I was pretty and had nice legs and things like that. And we didn't really have that many. There was no relationship. There was no flirtation or anything like that. He just made it clear he liked me. The scheduler told me that he did as well, and it was strange. But anyway, I was doing whatever I was doing in the office, and the scheduler came in and said, Joe wants you to bring this to him, hurry. And it was his athletic bag, Republican bag. And so I was carrying it. And this is where I want to be really frank with you and everyone. I have worked so hard to not remember this anymore, that now that I've talked about it, I only shared it with a couple of people when it happened at the time. So there are spots where I just don't remember certain things, but I remember the assault itself and then the aftermath and the reverberating effects of that. And I was walking to the Capitol. I hear the Russell building and go down the stairs and go down, and then it was somewhere in either the Russell or Capitol, I'm not sure, in an alcove. But we were in a semi-private place. It wasn't completely private. He was at first talking to someone, they went away, and then he said, "Come here." And then when I gave him the gym bag, it happened all in one motion almost. And he had me against the wall. And then his hands were down my skirt and up my skirt. And I was wearing, I wasn't wearing face or anything. And he then, with his hand, he went from there and entered me with his hand, and as he was trying to kiss me and saying things to me. So when I tell you what happened, it's hard because everything kind of happened at once, but there were incremental parts to it. And meaning he was just trying to kiss me and I was pulling away, and what I remember of that time is feeling really shocked, surprised, because there was no real conversation right beforehand. There was no precursor. It just happened. And then when he did that, I was obviously pulling away. And he pulled back and said, "Come on, man, I heard you liked me." Something to that effect. And that's what kind of jolted me. Like, I was trying to think what I did wrong, bring that on me. And then he looked angry and irritated with me. And that's when I knew it was really, I was in a very difficult position, because he was my boss and he was like my dad did at the time, and I trusted him and looked up to him, and it was not like I disliked him. I liked him, but I just didn't like him in that way. And it was just shocking. It was shattering, actually. And he said to me when he pulled back, he pointed his finger at me, and he said, "You're nothing to me. You're nothing." And so he straightened his clothes and he went away. And I don't remember. I know I went to the restroom to clean up, but I don't remember exactly. I remember the next memory I have is of the Russell building. There's these long windows that are very tall, and this empty kind of like, there's back stairs. And I was sitting on the back stairs, and I just remember the coldness and my whole body shaking and feeling alone and feeling scared and not knowing what to do. Was who to talk to. And I knew I had made him angry because I insulted him by pulling away and stuff. It was awkward and horrible. So I called my mom later. I went home, and she was furious, and she said she educated me about sexual assault. At that time, I really didn't look at it as a sexual assault. I felt like I put him in a bad position. It's strange to say, but I felt like I did something wrong, because after I was told to serve the drinks and I wouldn't, the scheduler said things like, you need to button up more, you need to dress less provocatively. And I was in my 20s, and I dressed in pretty much business clothes, so I was confused by that. And my mother described that as retaliation, and she was kind of explaining to me what was happening, and I wasn't aware of how this worked, in that kind of
Right.
pattern. And so when I called her, she said, I want you to make a police report. And I said, Mom, who do I call? It's the Capitol Police, he's the most powerful, one of the most powerful people in the world. He's chairman of the judiciary. There's nothing I can do. No one saw it, I don't think. And she said, you need to march into the office, and you need to make a sexual harassment claim, and you need to, Tony and we argued about this. And it was after the incident that I did make a written claim outside the office, because I had tried to follow protocol with the sexual harassment, and just how I couched it was in terms of I felt uncomfortable. And I went to my supervisor, and I don't know if it's okay for me to say the names of the upper level supervisors I went to, but there were two.
Yeah.
And they were in upper, yeah.
Exchange really. He just had me up against the wall. Reade said that she was wearing a business skirt, but wasn't wearing stockings. It was a hot day. She continued, his hands were on me and underneath my clothes, and he went down my skirt and then up inside it, and he penetrated me with his fingers, and he was kissing me at the same time, and he was saying some things to me. Reade claimed Biden first asked if she wanted to go somewhere else. I pulled away. He got finished doing what he was doing, Reade said. He said, come on, man. I heard you liked me. Biden's campaign has adamantly denied the allegations, calling the claim concerning the purported incident decades ago false. Women have a right to tell their story, and reporters have an obligation to rigorously vet those claims. We encourage them to do so, because these accusations are false, Kate Bedingfield, Deputy Campaign Manager and Communications Director for the Biden campaign, said in a statement to Fox News. Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, arguably Sanders' biggest supporter in Congress, has called Reade's accusation legitimate to talk about earlier this month. What you're voicing is so legitimate and real. That's why I find this kind of silencing of all dissent to be a form of gaslighting, the New York Congresswoman responded, according to CBS News. I think it's legitimate to talk about these things. And if we, again, want to have integrity, you can't say, both believe women, support all of this, until it inconveniences you, until it inconveniences us. Weeks after making those comments, however, Ocasio-Cortez said in an Instagram video that she'll be casting a vote for Biden come November. I've been saying this whole time that we've got to support the Democratic nominee, Ocasio-Cortez explained. This is the time I'm saying it declarative like this. Over the weekend, a video emerged from 1993 in which Reade's mother appears to allude to the sexual assault accusation during an interview with CNN's Larry King. The Intercept on Friday first reported the transcript on the August 11, 1993, broadcast, where the woman who does not mention sexual assault, or the specific details of Reade's claim asks a question to the panel. The clip was later found and published by Newsbusters. Yes, hello. I'm wondering what a staffer would do besides go to the press in Washington? My daughter has just left there, after working for a prominent senator, and could not get through with her problems at all, and the only thing she could have done was go to the press, and she chose not to do it out of respect for him, the caller says. In other words, she had a story to tell, but, out of respect for the person she worked for, she didn't tell it. King inquires. That's true, the woman responds before King cuts away to a panel to discuss her claim. Reade says that woman is Jeanette Altimus, her late mother. This is my mom. I miss her so much and her brave support of me, Reade tweeted about her mother, who died in 2016. The Biden campaign once again pointed to a statement by Bedingfield that said, "What is clear about this claim, it is untrue. This absolutely did not happen." Vice President Biden has dedicated his public life to changing the culture and the laws around violence against women, Bedingfield said. He authored and fought for the passage and reauthorization of the landmark Violence Against Women Act. He firmly believes that women have a right to be heard and heard respectfully. Such claims should also be diligently reviewed by an independent press. The clip of the interview with Larry King, however, just added fuel to the fire for Sanders supporters. The video of Tara Reade's late mother calling into Larry King to blow the whistle about sick Tara's sexual assault is being met with relative silence from a cadre of progressives right now, and I want you all to know that I see you, former Sanders senior advisor Winnie Wong tweeted. We all do.